afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Fiesel.
And I'm Cathy Tillery. Thank you for joining us today. Oh, I'm just so excited. Okay, we have talked about some farming and fruits and vegetables the past few shows. And Donna is going to share something great with us today. Yeah, do you see what that is?
This is an eggplant. Now, they come in all sizes, though, Cathy.
Yes.
I mean, these are real good for you. But I wanted to mention there's a number of ways you can watch this. We are a syndicated talk show, so you can find us all over the world. And so you can find us on channel 182 on Charter Communications. You can also find us on Abundant TV.
Yes, on your Roku, add Abundant. It's free. And guess what? You can watch us anytime. But we're on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays live and on Facebook live at that same time and on cable in North Alabama on Charter on 182. But if you can't watch us live, please catch us when you can. You can go back and watch it on Facebook, and I usually share it. Donna reshares it. And so we just have a good time.
On all the social media sites.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And I wanted to thank you, too, because our Facebook page is growing like crazy.
Yes. I'm excited. And we try to welcome everybody. So if you want to come along and join us, please do. And we try to add people as we can, too. Me and her do, and welcome everybody.
And you can just come on, and then we'll go ahead and you like us, we like you too.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool the way that works out.
But now I'm excited about today's show, and I have to tell some little stories about this before we even get started, Donna. Yes. My mom and dad used to love eggplant, and they used to eat it all the time. I was young, and I did not like it. I don't know why. I don't know if it was the way it looked or what it was. I just didn't like it. And now that we're grown and have children, now we realize how important anything is that comes out of the ground. That's what you were saying. Anything that comes out of the dirt, she said,
it's the best.
It's the best for you. And it is. It is.
Well, we don't put chemicals or anything like that. All of our stuff is natural.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited because, look, this is what I saw on her counter.
You saw a bunch of these on the counter.
Yes, a lot. And she said, do you want one of these? And I said, Donna, I have to tell the truth. I don't remember. I don't remember what it tastes like. And I've never eaten it since. And I didn't remember what they look like, but I do remember the names. Well, my mom, is there a black one?
There's a purpley blackie.
Oh, that's what they used to.
That's what.
Okay.
But this just happens to be this variety of it, but they taste about the same.
Well, now, so my mom probably grew that one in the garden then, because they ate it all the time. Ate it all the time.
You can do salads with them, but I'm going to tell you, you like French fries.
Okay.
Why don't you go ahead and read what?
Oh, tell us. Oh, my God.
These things are so good for you.
Donna shared this with me, guys. How great. All this is so fabulous. They are low in calories, she said. And then we actually looked it up on this health line. Carbs, 5 grams. All you people doing the keto diets. Eggplant. Fiber. Great for your GI tract. I need to be eating them for that reason. Protein. It's got 1 gram of protein. An eggplant. An eggplant has protein. Is that not something? Manganese, 10%. Folate, 5%. Potassium, 5%.
And this is good for your skin, too.
Oh, yeah. Vitamin K, vitamin C. I mean, vitamin K, C, potassium. All those are antioxidants as well. So actually, it's really great. I mean, everybody likes antioxidants, right? Because everybody, you might, a lot of people that live in cities or they don't have the benefit of being in the country, farmers markets, they may drink green tea. But guess what? Go get you some eggplants.
Get this right here.
Can you plant those in the tubs like I do the tomatoes?
You most certainly can.
Oh.
Yeah, they're kind of akin to, kind of between, if I can, my imagination of what they're like, kind of like a potato, gourd, pumpkin. There's something kind of like in between all of those things. And I really like the smooth texture of these things. So I got a recipe for frying these, like French fries.
Really?
But it's a lot less calories. And so here's the way I do it.
Okay,
and
listen up, guys.
You got to have a good sharp knife because these things are as hard as a rock almost. And you'll think, I can't eat that. But I promise you, you can. Now, you can fry it just like you do French fries. I put mine in the oven. and you get
Okay,
less
and bake
calories
'em?
that I bake them.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
they need to be cut really thin, okay? There's a little bit of seed. You need to get all that seed out of there as well. So I cube them like you do a hash brown or like
Okay.
a French fry, like a shoestring French fry. And
So
the reason
so it has a good texture because
It's
now
got a
I'm
great texture to
clueless
it.
on the eggplants.
it's got a great texture to it.
So it's like harder maybe than a potato.
A little harder.
So it's
than
a little
potato.
easier to cut up into French fries.
Yeah, it is. Now you got to have a good sharp knife. This is a good sharp one right here. So I'm going to.
She's
cut
cutting
it.
it.
So
You can't see it, but she's cutting it.
yeah, I got to do it like this.
You're fixing to see it.
So here you
Okay.
go.
Wow, look at there.
So that's what it looks like on the inside. Now, when I told Phil, because Phil's not really into anything but French fried potatoes, he doesn't even like
It
sweet
smells
potatoes.
good.
It does, and it's not a. It's kind of almost a citrusy like.
Yeah, it smells sweet.
Mm-hmm. It is.
It's really good.
And these make now a lot of people
Can't eat it raw though, right?
You can. I've ate it raw.
Really?
Yeah. Chop it up and put it in some salad. Now it's better if you
Wow.
shred it. You need to shred it, okay? So here's what.
Oh, look at the water coming off of it. That is amazing,
And that's
y'all.
so good for your skin. And I'm going to tell you
That's
something
gotta be
else you
good
can
for
do.
your
See this
skin.
right here? After you cleanse your skin, get all of your makeup off
Uh-huh.
at night. See the way I've got this angled right here?
Right?
Keep it in the refrigerator. It's even better.
Really?
And put it in some foil or something to keep it fresh. So what you can do with this one piece
Uh-huh.
right here, at night, what I can do after I've washed my face, what I'll do is I'll just rub my skin.
Really?
And look at that.
Oh, wow.
And see, feel that it's not an oily
That is
texture.
amazing. Y'all got to see that.
It's
Can
not
you
an
see
oily
that?
texture.
Oh, wow. No, it's like a sticky.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the creams and stuff
But
they
it
try to
goes in-
sell you when you go to the department
But
stores.
this goes into your skin.
Yeah.
It goes into it. And then what you want to do, you want to keep it just like this.
It's
Okay, don't cut
amazing.
it yet. So the next night when you use it again, you want to cut another, just a small layer, because it's going to kind of get hard right there, and it won't go
Okay.
on like this does.
Right.
And then you'll just cut that part off and put it on your skin again. This is like a,
And that keeps you from wasting food too, doesn't it?
and it smells so good.
This smells delicious.
It smells really good.
I had no idea. It actually reminds me of a very, very
Almost-
faded pineapple cantaloupe kind of
makes me
mixture.
think. It makes me think.
That's
of
what it makes me
cantaloupe.
think of.
It kind of does, but it's
Mhm.
harder textured than cantaloupe seed. You
Wow.
can see how textured that is. So this seed makes some really good fries. And some people are into the sweet potato fries. Phil's not really so much into sweet potato fries. So he likes like Irish potatoes
Right.
or the
Or the white
any of
potatoes. Yeah.
those. And so what I'll do is I'll cut all of this off. So this is the skin right here.
Okay, so you cut that first layer off, guys. She's saying right there, right, all the way down to where it gets to the coloring.
Yeah, see where the color is kind
Okay.
of greenish right
Okay.
around the rim. I don't know if you can see it here, but it's kind of
Okay.
green around. You want to cut that part off. And then what I'll do is get my knife, get a good cutting board, because you don't want to mess
Okay.
up your countertops. And again, this is pretty hard now, so you got to have a good sharp knife. A chef's knife would be really good. And then I'm going to cut this into like French fries. Or what I could do is cut all this off and almost like potato chips.
Well, that's what I was fixing to say. Could you make it round too? Could
It's
you?
like potato chips, and it'll taste like
And you
potato
do them
chips.
thin? Maybe what about
Very
about
as thin as
a
you
quarter of
can.
an inch? I guess,
Something
right?
about the size
Very
of a quarter. You know how
thin, yeah.
thick a quarter is?
Yeah.
About like a quarter. That's a good way to remember.
Wow, yeah.
So you want to cut that off. Now make sure you've taken all of this part right here off. Feed that to your chickens or put it in your compost pile. Don't throw that away because it's good nourishment for your compost.
Or throw it in the woods for the wild animals. That's what I
whatever.
do.
Yeah,
For the
yeah, but I
possums.
got a compost. I got a big
I
box
throw
of
them
compost.
in the woods.
Okay,
for
now
them.
feel it's less sticky.
Look how your skin looks just shiny and perfect.
It's a good moisturizer.
Wow,
I really do love this.
that's amazing.
And see how that's tightening my skin?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. That is amazing.
And it won't take much.
No, that is amazing, guys.
So why are you spending so much money on skincare?
Wow,
You don't
that's
have to.
amazing.
You don't have to.
that's
My
really-
grandmother's
really
had
cool.
the smoothest skin of anybody. My grandmother used to use milk, and she would get
Uh-huh.
egg whites and put those on her face and use that as a skin tightener.
Wow.
It's
I know.
beautiful
Well, I've
skin.
heard of people putting mayonnaise in their hair.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure.
put vinegar in my hair.
Yeah. That's right. Okay, back to the French fries.
Okay, so here's
So
what you
tell
want
us
to
how
do.
to what we do next.
And this way, you're not making them really greasy because that's where the calories come from.
Right.
But I use olive oil.
Yeah.
And so what I do, you gotta get them really thin, that kind of thing, and you put it in a bowl. Get about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, if you even need that much. Try 1 tablespoon. Depends on how many you've cut up. And then you want to get some sea salt. You put that in there and mix it up with your hands. Your hands are actually your best utensils. So mix it up with your hands.
Okay.
Clean hands. The oven has been on preheat, right? For
350.
350.
Okay.
So it's good and hot. You want to get a cookie sheet and put them in single layers.
Oh yeah, kind of like you're doing cookies, right?
Kind of like cookies.
Like a.
Put them in there for about 10 minutes, and then check them after 10 minutes, okay? And then you may want to flip them over, and it just depends on how thick you cut these things, okay? Because you want them to be done, and you're going to be amazed at what they taste like.
Are they? Do they taste like sweet potato fries?
Better.
Oh my gosh.
They're not as sweet. That when you do this, they taste more like a potato.
Well, I probably will love them.
And you can put...
Okay, so what did my mom maybe used to cook with this?
She made casseroles with it and stuff like that.
I love squash casserole.
It's like a squash casserole. You can do all kinds of stuff.
You can do that with these too as well.
You can make hash browns the same way. I mean, I could just cube them just like you would hash browns. And then put them in your skillet. Yeah.
Okay. Really?
And look at all the vitamins this thing has too.
I know. I mean, look at the. If y'all could see this, it is dripping out of this.
The moisture.
That has to be amazingly healthy for you.
And I mean, you put it on your skin.
That's got to be good for you.
People have asked me what I use on my skin.
Okay, how fast do eggplants grow? I have to ask that.
It does take a little while for them to grow in the garden.
Like 2 or 3 months, or
something like that.
Like plant it maybe in March or April, and then maybe they come in like
you can do it
August.
Now. You can go in ahead and plant them now.
Really?
And they're another good fall garden.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I'm gonna tell you now, when they start producing, it's fast.
Okay, how do you plant?
Oh my goodness!
From
one plant, you're gonna get oodles. From one
plant,
yeah, you're gonna get oodles of.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean they'll be all over the place.
Can you freeze or do anything else with these? Okay, what do we do?
Okay, here's what you want to do if you freeze them. Okay, so you want to cut them in layers, just like we did, like thin layers.
Okay, cut the outside off first, though, right? Okay.
Cut that off. And then you cut them in thin layers, put them on a cookie sheet, put them in the freezer for about an hour, okay? And then they'll freeze, and then what you can do is take them out of the off of the cookie sheet, and put them in a good plastic bag, good freezer bag, okay? And then that way they're already frozen. If you only want 2 or 3 of them.
Wow, so you don't have to parch these or anything, do you? Or blanch or anything. That is so good. Awesome.
And they're so good for you. And I'm going to tell you what, during the summertime when it's really, really cold, I mean really hot outside, and you've washed your face, you can put this, and it's really good too for the dark circles under your eyes.
Oh, well, I need those sometimes, because sometimes I'm going to sleep when I keep my grandbaby.
Well, you know, sometimes I've got asthma, and sometimes I get puffiness under my eyes, so that's why I don't have puffiness.
Wow, because you use this.
You get that, and it's got that. See, it'll start thawing out of the freezer.
That is amazing.
It's even better when you've had it in the freezer, and it'll start thawing out. Now keep a towel, because it could be just a little bit too much.
Now the dark eggplant that you see in the grocery store too, because you see more of those in the grocery store, don't you? Can you do the same thing with it?
It's not as juicy.
Okay.
It's not
as moisturizing. It's a drier.
It's a drier
plant. Okay. So that's the difference.
This is giving you the moisture you need.
Okay.
That's why you've got all this vitamin K. This actually has more vitamins to it, vitamin C, than orange juice does.
Oh my gosh, y'all! You would not believe antioxidants. This thing is full of them.
You know, I told you about poison oak. You know, I can break out with poison oak like crazy. If you get poison oak, you can get this and rub this on your poison oak.
And you know what else? And on Healthline, I looked this up because Donna, I was just amazed when I saw these on her table. Because she's got it's a table full of them. These are also great. This is a Healthline article, by the way, so you can look it up. They reduce the risk of heart disease because of their antioxidant content. That is wonderful, Donna. They actually, they've studied to see it also is helpful in reducing both the LDL cholesterol and the triglycerides. And those are the two blood
That's your
markers that
heart
lead.
healthy right there.
Yeah, because those are the two things that lead to increased risk of heart disease when they're elevated. My cholesterol usually is okay, but my triglycerides are up.
That's Phil. That's Phil. You know, when we first got married, his brother is 1 year older than he is. They're both tall and skinny. So
Right.
his brother had a heart attack. It scared me because I'm thinking, oh my goodness, they're the same build.
Right.
So I made Phil go to the doctor, and the doctor looks at. I'm talking about 6'2" and thin, very thin.
Wow.
He takes this after
And
his
feels
mother.
thin.
His mother was just like him.
Wow,
She could
yeah.
eat like a horse and never gain an ounce. Used to make me so mad.
That's the way my grandfather was. That's what my son
Phil could
is.
eat like an entire cake and go to bed on it and not gain an ounce. So the doctor comes to me and he said, I've got to put your husband on a diet. And I said, you got his chart mixed up with somebody else's. And he said, no. He said his triglycerides were like way out.
Like 300 or 400.
Way out.
Mine were.
He said he's
Mine were
borderline heart attack.
Mine were between 200 and 300. And they've never been that before. So I'm guessing by what I read, it might be my artificial hormones, because
Could
I do
be.
take hormones.
Could
And
be.
hormones, estrogen does cause
Uh-huh.
some problems, but you have to just weigh the benefits. I'm taking the risk for all the benefits.
And I'm not taking them at all.
I take it for the benefits though, yeah. And Donna does fine though.
I mean,
And
it
she's
depends
actually
on you.
cold natured. Is that not something? I used to be cold natured though before I had to have a hysterectomy.
I never have hot flashes.
But after it, no, I've never had a hot flash. But that's probably because I'm on the hormones.
That may be one.
I'm sure. But I did change my body temperature because I used to freeze everywhere I went. Like you were saying, you were cold earlier when we were walking around. She was like, "I'm cold." I said, "It's warm in here."
She's looking at me like, you're crazy.
It's warm
girl.
in here. But I understand because I've actually been there until 4 years ago when I had my hysterectomy.
That's
But,
another reason I love going to the cowboy church. It's outside right now.
oh, yeah.
And I'm not freezing to death. Some
Yeah.
churches you go, it's like hanging meat.
Oh, yeah.
It's so hot.
Oh, yeah.
But
'cause it's cold.
this is good for your heart. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
so I try to
It's
feed my husband.
amazing.
I keep him around a long time, you know, so I can terrorize him more. But I want to keep him around, so I make sure
It's just awesome.
And I didn't know if he would like. I thought, well, I'm going to try the fries with him. I'm going to see if he likes them. I didn't know if I was going to tell him or not. Yeah, because sometimes you have to slip food on your husband. You know what I mean?
Excuse me.
You have to slip it. So he actually liked it. He went, I like this stuff.
Well, you know, earlier, when Donna was giving me this and we were going over some of the health benefits of it, the fiber content. Actually, on the Healthline article, they talk about how it can actually help with your digestive system, your GI tract, digestive system, because of the high fiber.
Well,
I
let
need to
me
be
ask you,
eating
because this is a nurse.
this.
And I ask this nurse about stuff all the time because she's like a walking encyclopedia. So if people are taking laxatives to help, like that, does it keep working? Like if you take laxative all the time, is it going to begin to not work?
Yeah. Well, actually, the best thing to do is to do it by diet, because like with me, a lot of you women out there can feel with me probably if you're watching this show, and men too probably that have had GI problems. Since I had my hysterectomy, my plumbing's rerouted. You know, everything moved around, you know. And so, actually, I don't like taking any type laxatives. I take a stool softener that is a non-stimulant. Because eventually,
what you need, right?
Eventually, if you keep taking all those laxatives, you become laxative dependent.
Okay, that was my big question right
And that's why a lot of gastro docs, you know, they'll tell you, you know, let's find out what your problem is, you know, instead of becoming laxative dependent. You know, now, of course, whenever you have a surgery or procedure, a lot of times your GI tract does slow down anyway. So that's why a lot of times, you know, in the
They
hospitals,
say you can't go home until,
right? They till you pass your stool and go to the restroom, you know. But a lot of times that's why the doctors will put you on stool softeners, which are like a gentle. Now, some stool softeners actually do have stimulants in them, though. So you have to look at that. There's different ones out there, the generic ones. Just look and see if it says stimulant or non-stimulant. I try to stay with non-stimulants because then I try to eat fruits every day.
Oh,
I either eat
fruits.
Yes, fruits. I try to. Oh, I thought something was wrong when she did that. She was looking
No,
at our
I'm just
time.
trying to tell you, time's flying. We
Oh,
only
yeah.
got a little bit over 8 minutes.
I know.
left.
Okay, real quick. Fruits are great. You know, I
About
love
figs and stuff like that.
I love figs. I've got to get some from you though, because I don't buy them in the supermarket. I'll buy plums, dark plums. I buy in the supermarket. Actually, by the way, they're on sale right now. They're cheaper.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they're cheaper now than they
If
were
it's
a month
cheaper,
ago.
grab it right
Yeah,
now. While
they're
the time
cheaper.
delay is.
And you know, peaches were really in season within the past, like I guess the past month.
Yeah.
So they were a lot more cost effective to buy them. And I noticed now some of those are a little cheaper in the grocery store because they're trying to get rid of them. Peaches are a little I love peaches. I love prunes. And you know, prunes, all that is a dried plum. You know. But I love navel oranges. Navel oranges now are a little pricey, but they're from Florida. So we got to support them from the United States.
Apricots. So support the United States.
Yes. Apricots, they're actually farmed here too, correct? They're grown here in the United States. Oranges, navel oranges, Florida oranges. They look ugly on the outside, but they are so good. You can take one of those.
Inside that counts.
Oh, yeah, you can take one of those Florida oranges and you can slice it into fours and just eat it. Oh, yeah, that's the bomb.
Now, let's talk about how because your daughter had, and we were talking about blood sugar control.
Yeah, these help. That's what the article on Healthline was saying, is that the eggplants can help you in your diet keep your blood sugar in check because of the fiber. So in other words, I guess because it helps so much with the GI tract, the article states that the fiber can slow the blood sugar by slowing the rate of digestion and absorption of sugar in the body. The slower absorption keeps the blood sugar more level and steady and prevents, of course, the spikes and crashes. So in other words, it's a food kind of like, you know, white potatoes. They are very, very starchy. Okay.
And so that's what I like about these. They're not starchy.
Right, but they're a different kind of starch than like these and different. Yellow potatoes.
So what's the difference? I don't understand.
Well, say like the yellow potatoes, they're still a starch, but they're what me and my daughter call good starches because they're healthier for you. Actually, yellow potatoes, sweet potatoes, not just yellow. I'm talking about sweet potatoes. They're orange. Okay, yams, sweet potatoes. The sweet potato, if you just bake it with a little bit of olive oil, oh my gosh, it is so good. You don't need butter and cinnamon in it. Now, at the fancy restaurants, when you go, of course, they add the butter and the cinnamon and the sugar. But if you bake it with some olive oil, it will taste so sweet, guys. You won't need anything else. And those kind of carbs, yes, they do raise the blood sugar, but those are healthy carbs is what we call those. So a lot of people on keto diets, I think they can eat sweet potatoes where they're actually deterred from eating white potatoes.
And they could probably eat this.
I bet they could because of the fact that it's got low calories, low carbs, and it's got protein in it. That is amazing.
And vitamin C.
That is so amazing. But some more things in that article too, guys, it talks about through Healthline, is of course then if it's lower in carbs, higher in, it's got a gram of protein, right? And that's not the whole thing. That's per serving. So think about it. That's a lot of protein. Yeah, so that would be a lot of protein.
And about a cup is only about 20 calories.
Yes. Yeah. So, but now I wouldn't eat a whole lot at one time because it does have a lot of fiber. it probably would like
Eat it with
make
other
you,
things.
yeah. I was fixing to say your belly, like we were talking about grain and wheat, it might just get bloated from too much eggplant, right?
Yeah, too much of anything's too much. Okay.
Yeah, but and also it's great for fighting cancer because the antioxidants
Mhm.
it has.
Yeah, and it
Just
compares to
great.
blueberries. It really compares to blue. Everybody,
Oh
blueberry
yeah,
is the big superfruit, and we got blueberries here on the farm too. But that is the big deal right there, the antioxidants, and that's what this is. And it costs, you know what, a seed. You'll get a few seeds in this thing right here. Now the purple ones have more seeds than these two.
Okay.
But save your seeds. You'll never have to buy food again. I promise you. There's a
Really?
bunch of seeds in these things.
You just can't see them right here, so they're down in this
down
part
in
and the little belly of the fruit, I guess. Or is this a fruit or a vegetable then?
I think it's a vegetable.
I would think it's a vegetable too. You know, like tomatoes, they're actually considered a fruit. But a long time ago, you know, I remember my mother and my sister, they used to think they were a vegetable, you know, and then.
Oh, we grew up thinking that.
Oh, yeah. But they're really a fruit because they actually do have a lot of carbs. Tomatoes do. So you have to count them like a fruit. But thank you for the eggplant tips. This has been fabulous.
Sure. And you grow your own. They're as easy as they can be. You want to plant the
French
seeds.
fries.
Plant about 2 or 3 seeds, but separate them and put them about 4 inches down into the ground.
Wow.
And you'll think they're not coming up, and then all of a sudden, one day,
and you've got plenty.
They grow like crazy.
So they grow on the ground like squash.
Just like squash, but now this time next year I'm going to put these things in the concrete.
In your
concrete cinder blocks.
Oh wow! To see what happens.
Never hurts to experiment, right?
No, that's going to be good. That's interesting. And I'll do the tubs next year.
So far, all the experiments with the cinder block has worked.
My tub has too. I love the tubs.
Yeah.
Love it.
So there's
no
weeds. You know, that's what a lot of folks, you know, concrete jungles, they call them in New York.
Yeah.
The folks in New York, and they're on the top of the skyscrapers, people in restaurants, places like that, they're growing gardens there. They see it. They get it.
On the roof.
Yeah. On the roof. Right there on the Empire State Building or whatever. And now that you can see an aerial view. A lot of times they'll show, like when 9/11 happened, you could see they were doing aerial views, and you could see aerial views of people's gardens.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing, isn't it? Okay, so we learned how to make French fries from these eggplants. I learned how to plant an eggplant. I hope you did too today with these seeds from Donna. And one more quick question, Donna, about this. So are the dark eggplants that we see in the grocery store, I call them, they're so dark. It's like a dark purple. It's almost black. They're so dark. Are those, do you do the same thing with them? Can you make French fries with them? Can you make casseroles with them? So with this one, if you're going to do casseroles, you just cut that up and add it, kind of like a squash casserole?
Just like you do that.
Amazing.
Absolutely. And if you've got one of those little slicers.
That's awesome.
I've got a slicer I've had since Brad was a baby. This slicer's got to be 40-something years old. So you'll just put this in the slicer, and then you hand crank it, and it does just the perfect size.
Really?
Yeah. It does. Kathy, got to say bye.
Oh, well, I have had a wonderful time. I learned about eggplants today. I hope you did too.
Put it on your face.
Yes, that's right. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you back next time.
Absolutely. Can't wait to see you next time. And future shows, we're going to show you how to make candles. We're going to do that. And also some jewelry making and a few other things.
And how about we make a squash casserole?
Let's do that. Yeah, constantly. Yeah, Thanksgiving's coming up, right?
Yes.
And you can make that ahead of time, right, Cathy? Put it in the freezer, and it'll taste even better. Those flavors just resonate. You can do that.
Pumpkin pie.
Yes, absolutely. Sweet tater pie. I wonder if these make a good pie. Let's try it.
We gotta try that.
Let's try it. It won't hurt to try. Thank you again so much for watching, guys. You are the apple of our eye. Love you.